In tonight's headlines,
本人陈浩辉谨此宣誓。
Sam Hou-fai is sworn in as Macau's new leader, while President Xi expresses hopes for the SAR, including to diversify its economy. Hongkongers feel the chill as the city locks the lowest temperature so far this winter. And US lawmakers vote against a Donald Trump-backed funding measure, bringing government shutdown a step closer.
本人陈浩辉谨此宣誓。本人就任中华人民共和国澳门特别行政区行政长官。
Macau's new leader Sam Hou-fai was sworn in at the inauguration officiated by President Xi Jinping as the city celebrates the 25th anniversary of its return to the motherland. The 62-year-old then led his cabinet members in their oaths, including Andre Cheung, continuing as Secretary for Administration and Justice.
我们将着力推进经济适度多元发展。
As Macau's sixth chief executive, Sam vowed to speed up economic diversification in line with the 1+4 development strategy introduced by the previous administration. He expressed commitment to actively seek reform to uphold the city's long-term prosperity and stability, and promised to improve livelihood. We will make every effort in making Macau as a city with rule of law, vitality, culture, and happiness, Sam said. He also reaffirmed his dedication to strive for greater achievements in the future, making the pearl on the nation's palm be brighter. In the 30-minute address, she laid out expectations for the casino hub, calling on the city to focus on diversifying its economy and cultivate new industries that are competitive on a global scale.
中央决定开发横琴。
He especially highlighted the significance of leveraging the Guangdong-Macau in-depth cooperation zone set up in Hengqin, with the goal of fostering Macau's development of a diversified economy and to facilitate the living and employment of Macau residents. She also urged the SAR to push for reforms to build a service-oriented government with higher efficiency. While praising Macau as a shining bright pearl, she stressed the importance of social harmony and stability, and that both Macau and Hong Kong must maintain long-term prosperity and stability under the one country, two systems principle. After a brief visit to the People's Liberation Army Macau garrison in the afternoon, she wrapped up his 3-day visit to the city. Children bid farewell as the couple departed from the Macau International Airport. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
The Macau SAR government held a flag-raising ceremony this morning to mark the 25th anniversary of the city's return to the Chinese rule. At Lotus Square, incoming city leader Sam Hou-fai, director of Beijing's liaison office in Macau Zheng Xingcong, commissioner of Beijing's Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Macau SAR, Liu Xianfa, and the president of Macau's Legislative Assembly, Ko Hoi-in, attended the ceremony. Meanwhile, Hong Kong Chief Executive John Lee led a delegation to attend the ceremony and inauguration. Lee also sent a congratulatory note to Sam, stating the two SARs enjoy the advantages of one country, two systems, and share a strong bond. He pledged to work with Macau to further enhance exchanges and cooperation, with the two cities complementing each other, and to jointly contribute to the development of the Greater Bay Area. People with outdoor plants bundled up in down jackets and coats on the coldest day so far this winter. The Hong Kong Observatory recorded a minimum temperature of 11.9 degrees Celsius at its Tsim Sha Tsui headquarters this morning, while in several districts in the New Territories, the mercury even hovered below 10 degrees Celsius. This man said he wore more clothes instead of using instant heat patch for an eco-friendly reason. while this girl said she felt really cold, like a block of ice. I wore 3 to 4 pieces of clothing, along with a long-sleeved undershirt, said this student. The weather watchdog lifted the first cold weather warning of the season after 10:30 a.m., expecting fine and very dry conditions. Under the chilly weather, at least 5 elderly people fainted at their homes or at care homes and subsequently died early this morning. The observatory forecast that in the next couple of days, the temperature difference between day and night will be rather large and cloudier during Christmas holidays. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
In view of the cold weather and upcoming holidays, public hospitals will activate service demand surge special measures starting tomorrow. To cope with the surging COVID and flu cases during the Christmas and New Year holidays, the hospital authority will open 4 additional general outpatient clinics, providing approximately 10,000 to 12,000 extra slots, with the aim of reducing daily emergency room visits by 300 to 500 cases. They will also enhance government-funded Chinese medicine outpatient services. Special refund arrangements in the A&E departments will also be implemented again. Patients who wish to seek treatment at other healthcare institutions while waiting at emergency rooms can request for a refund within 24 hours of registration. The special measures will last until February 9th, after the Chinese New Year holiday.
Kitchee Arena, located within the sports park, is hosting its first weekday night concert as part of its trial events, with an expected turnout of over 5,500 attendees. Ticket holders lined up in separate queues to have their belongings checked before entering the zone. Early birds arrived at the venue hours before the show, eager to share fan tributes with fellow supporters. They said they have adjusted the props they prepared to support their idols according to the latest size restrictions. Apart from umbrellas, cameras and video recording equipments are prohibited within the venue but can be kept and stored outside. Some concert goers are satisfied with the facilities of Kitchee. This woman said it is convenient to have a mall close by, highlighting easy access to food and public transport. Others are more concerned about the audio quality in the arena. I think the most important aspect is the acoustics, as I really enjoy listening to music, she said. Authorities earlier stated that they will monitor the crowds, particularly during off-peak hours, and assess the situation as attendees leave the venue to minimize impact on the communities. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Police arrested 39 people on suspicion of using fake documents to apply for traffic accident victims' assistance, involving around $2 million. The arrestees, including 24 men and 15 women aged between 19 to 48, are suspected of making false claims to Social Welfare Department in relation to 33 allegedly fake traffic accidents with falsified documents, such as fake medical certificates. 275 people were arrested last month over suspicious claims under the scheme, worth a total of $40 million. Investigations found some of these claims were linked to an organization which orchestrates staged traffic accidents. One such incident involved 13 people. Senior Inspector Wang Chenpak from West Kowloon Traffic Unit pointed out that the fabricated accidents not only cause traffic congestion or disrupt social order, but also have serious consequences if police cannot respond timely to real emergencies.
The United States is on the brink of a government shutdown by this weekend, as the Republican-controlled House of Representatives has rejected a spending bill endorsed by President-elect Donald Trump. The bill was vetoed by dead hawks from both parties in a 235 to 174 vote, as it could add trillions more to the federal government's $36 trillion in debt. The vote left the Congress with no viable plan to avert the impending crisis. While the current spending bill can only sustain until local time Friday, a bipartisan deal had been achieved to support the federal government until mid-March, but was abruptly cut off by Trump and his incoming efficiency czar Elon Musk on Wednesday, as the two strive to cancel the country's borrowing limit for half of Trump's term. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries accused Republicans of committing similar transgressions 6 times over the past 2 years. However, Republicans will likely try again with a more pared-down bill later today, although the party leadership offered no clear path forward. If lawmakers fail to extend the current funding deadline by midnight, the U.S. government will see offices for 400,000 civil servants off lights, while 875,000 non-essential workers being sent home for Christmas without pay. The U.S. Transportation Security Administration has warned that holiday travelers may encounter long lines at airports due to the potential shutdown. Quentin Yang, Cable News. California has declared a state of emergency over the rampant spread of bird flu that is tearing through local dairy cows and poultry facilities, causing illnesses among people across the United States. The highly contagious disease, also known as avian influenza, is caused by virus type A H5N1. While it primarily spreads among birds, it can also infect other mammals and humans. Louisiana reported the first severe human case on Wednesday, and the patient had exposure to sick and dead birds in backyard flocks. Since April, there have been over 60 cases of bird flu in 8 states, though mostly with mild symptoms. Meanwhile, the virus has hit at least 866 herds of dairy cows in 16 states, with California accounting for 3/4 of these cases since its initial detection in March. Health officials maintain that the virus poses a low risk to the general public, and it's rare for the infection to spread from person to person.
Escorted off a helicopter, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson arrived in New York to attend his 3rd court hearings in one day, facing new charges. 26-year-old Luigi Maggiore was charged with the federal crime of murder using a firearm, 2 charges of stalking, and a charge of using an illegal gun silencer, alongside state murder and terrorism charges announced earlier. The federal murder charge could bring the death penalty if he's convicted. Police found a notebook in Maggiore's possession, which contained several handwritten pages that express hostility towards the health insurance industry and wealthy executives in particular. A letter was also discovered addressing to the feds that stated, "I wasn't working with anyone." The suspect was believed to have spent months planning the attack on Thompson, who was ambushed and shot to death outside a Manhattan hotel on December 4th.
The city's inflation increased less than expected in November, with the key gauge, the Consumer Price Index, rising 1.4%. Netting out the effects of all government's one-off relief measures, the underlying inflation rate was 1.2%, the same as in October. Government said that underlying consumer price inflation stayed modest in November. Food prices showed further mild year-on-year increases, while the decline in energy-related items continued to narrow. Looking ahead, the authority expects overall inflation to stay mild in the near term. External price pressures should ease in broad terms, though uncertainties from the external environment increased.